Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, and welcome to the Revolution, a similar choices matter RPG choose your own adventure style game like the life and suffering of Sir Bronte. So I bought this recently on sale, so I thought it'd be cool to check it out. It seems like the kind of game that I would like. So without further ado, let's jump straight in on a new adventure.
Father. I am here. Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could. Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you? Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
Somebody has daddy issues. France, the turn of the 18th century, just after the Revolution. Prologue. So in this game we're playing as a judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal. Well then. Raymond Devoyer. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rotgut. Remind me before I drink it. We're disgracing Thames. Ha! Is someone coming? Mathilde Fidele. This was bound to happen. I'm not going to try and do a French accent. And Bernard Fidele. I guess that's the father. I told you. Papa, you said we would go. You promised. Papa had a lot of work. Yes, a lot of heavy glasses. You promised me. I can't anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mama is angry because... Quiet. Today your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so we started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them. But, well, you were fighting for justice at an inn. Damn you, you bloody drunk. Mother. Ah, I am the father. This is my son, my wife, and my other son, I think. Documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display the contents. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Notebook. Review detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. And verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. Change the game settings. Hierarchy to review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. And intrigues are complex conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. And influence points. Influence points are the main currency in the game. Use them well. Notifications. Pay close attention to the changes in your in your influence and relations with factions. And some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in the notebook. Nice, seems like my kind of game. Is there news? Make your decision. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have a different chance of success. Consider them carefully. So there's some neighborhood gossip going on. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem. But who is spreading these rumors? It is likely to be one of their parents. They could have whispered into their children's ears whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced the story up with a lie. But who will hear it next? So you could intimidate the parents, which would take all of our influence points. Or let's talk about it eye to eye. Let's talk eye to eye at the minute. That's news, so we've chosen to do that. We have our notebook, which gives us relations. Negative relations with factions mean negative consequences for you, the fervor in the Paris Rising. My reputation impacts everything in the world of the game, factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, the fervor in the sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. My influence points. You have a set amount of influence points per day. In the future, you will be able to increase this limit. So the common folk like me, the revolutionaries like me as well, and my reputation is okay, which is a good start. I am down here, I'm Fidele, or Fidel, a judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal, generally considered a drunkard and gambler, a protege of Raymond de Voyer, who introduced him to the world of law and regulations. In private, he is an unremarkable character. And we've got lots of ways to climb the ladder, no doubt. I can't click that yet. Case file. To Judge Alexei Fidel, we have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our child. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. While linking lines of inquiry and categories, you can make a limited number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the whole system will be blocked. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are irrelevant. Where to start? Child's play, I guess, where it all began. The course of events, extenuating circumstances, and the victim. I'm going to click on him to ask him questions. Gather information and influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. To ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the inquiry linking menu. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you've asked the question. So you need to review the case file and then ask questions. Let's start with child's play and the course of events. The questions discovered. Fighting children and the course of events. Another question discovered. Let's see if we can learn a bit more about the victim. And the possibility of repeating. We got caught in a trap there, so that's bad. We need one more mistake. So that locks out the whole possibility. Chip to course of events. All questions unlocked. Okay, that's a good sign. So, son, how did your play turn into a fight? Our neighbors, Antoine and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard whom they would, you were fighting both of them at once. I had to. What exactly were they saying? I wonder actually if it's better to ask a question, learn a bit of information, and then go back and look at a possible line of questioning. Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you. They were yelling that you are. Well, I told them that it's not true, and they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard's son. Who started the fight? I can tell you who ended it. I think it was me. I kicked the one on the left, and then he wanted to get the one on the right. But they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Did you really break Antoine's tooth? Frederic is just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. That's all our questions. Ah, yes, we can't ask anymore. No, we can. No, we can't. Sorry, I'm just making sure. I love checking out all these menus just to get an idea of what's going on. Ah, yes, good. We can read about our family soon as well. I'll look at that a little bit later. I just want to get going in the game itself first. So is it straight to verdict then? Make the most important decision, condemn the defendant or deem them not guilty. Sign the document to legitimize your verdict. Is my son guilty or not guilty? I mean, we didn't really learn enough to know if he's guilty or not. I mean, he's just a kid. I don't think he kicked him in the tooth. He's not guilty. I find the defendant not guilty. You did well. A man has to defend the honor of his family no matter what. Educational procedures. Those children are so small, and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it is Frederic's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. Are you? And you, Raymond? You're supposed to be my husband's mentor. Is that what you wanted to teach him? How to repeat the mistakes, your mistakes, and lose his family? I was unaware that Mathilde had such a temper. As was I. We'll wait outside, as always. He's got a point. We need to get our act together. If our family reputation is at stake.
Paris.
Liberté!
We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets. France was never so happy. We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Act 1. Liberté. Day 1. Expected sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. So, I think Liberty wants acquittal, and this faction wants prison. Oh, sorry, the Common Folk and Revolutionaries both want prison. Nobody wants acquittal. Well, that's an easy case, it seems. And we've got a bit more hierarchy. Ah, Robespierre. Owing to his passionate devotion to the revolutionary cause, he is widely referred to as the Incorruptible. As leader of the radical Jacobins, he preserves order in the National Convention with an iron fist and, if need be, terror. Undeniably the most powerful man in Paris in the age of the Revolution. As yet, none have dared to defy him. The father had a rare episode of foolishness when he decided to stand up to someone stronger, threatening him with a fist, and showing his children that they are safe by his side. He did not listen to your arguments. Furthermore, he gave a precise description of where you can shove them. So we could hire thugs, or ignore it. Reputation will go down by 2. Let's hire thugs. See how things play on. That's all looking fine. The jury has not revealed its verdict yet. We've got him. In difficult times, people like to seek peace at the bottom of a glass. Please introduce yourself. My name is Jean Renard. Monsieur le juge. Nothing but a fraud. Jury. Systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. What's protocol? The trial's records. So we can commence the trial, the verdict, and case file. So, compiled by Richard Mounier. Jean Renard, a 45-year-old innkeeper, has been charged with fraud. He is accused of diluting alcohol in his tavern, tricking his clients into paying extra. Oh, we can ask him about that then, I see. Very good. So he's been diluting alcohol. Guests came with their minds set on a specific goal, getting roaring drunk, but instead of staggering out after 2 pitchers of wine or several pints of beer, they would sit in the inn until morning, still sober and completely penniless. The innkeeper's fraud came to light when one of the customers discovered the scam and caught the cheater in the act. The man entered the host's cellar and witnessed him diluting the alcohol in the barrels with ordinary water. As a result, customers received only 4 parts of what they paid for, and 1 part the water carrier. So we can ask him about being an innkeeper, diluting alcohol, the customer's drunkenness, exposing the innkeeper, and adding water. And there's a couple of traps. So we could ask him about the method of, why, how is he diluting alcohol? Although we kind of know the witnesses that seen him doing it. His motive, maybe. Let's do that and see what he says. No. Oops. Oh, exposing the innkeeper, witnesses. Yes, that's a question. What about the innkeeper himself? No. Adding water? His customer's drunkenness. I guess there's a motive there in trying to figure out. Well, is there? Maybe it's motive for adding water. No. Might take me a while to figure out how this game works. The method of diluting alcohol. Yeah. That's good. Now the innkeeper himself. I guess the method of adding water. Yeah. And customer's drunkenness. His motive? Nice. Okay, that's all questions. So. Commence the trial. Now let's ask him some questions. Let's start off easy. Do your clients drink a lot? Tavern regulars usually drink a lot. So you've been selling plenty of wine. Quite a lot, yes. And yet you have been paying taxes on the amount of wine you have bought, not the amount of wine you've been selling, correct? I do not understand. You've been paying taxes on 4 wine barrels, but by adding a quarter of water to each, you're actually making the money for selling 5 barrels of wine. That's one way of putting it. Perhaps it is correct. I'm not too good with numbers. You're not good with numbers, yet good enough to have calculated that fraud pays off. I wasn't aware. I will take that answer into account. The judge has exposed the bastard. How long have you been involved in the illegal practice of diluting alcohol? It's not an illegal practice, everyone adds a bit. In your case, it was a bit of wine in the water, not the other way around. How long have you been doing this for? A few weeks at the most. It's been hard to earn a living lately. I used to run an honest business. Pure wine was overspilling the glasses. Is there any proof to support your testimony? No, he lied to his customers. No reason he couldn't lie in court. How do you feel about wary citizens? How do you feel about tricking wary citizens? Terrible, but all I wanted was to keep my business afloat. Others don't mess around for sure. No diluting will be the end of me. So you decide to commit fraud so as not to lose money. If I lost my tavern, my family would starve to death. Do you have children? I do, 1 son and 2 daughters. Time to start saving up for the dowry. Then why don't you send them to work, idiot? So the jury's opinion is leaning more and more towards prison rather than being free. I'm kind of liking this game. I like the aesthetic of it as well. Please call in Thomas Leclerc. Who's the witness, who's seen him, obviously. Please introduce yourself. Thomas Leclerc, I'm a regular at Jean Renaud's establishment. How long have you... Oh, I see. If I choose one, I lock the other, I think. How did you catch Citizen Renaud in the act of diluting wine with water? I was having one drink after another, so I had to, Monsieur le Judge. I know. So it happened that one time I got lost, and instead of, I ended up in the cellar, where I saw Renard adding water to the barrels. Yeah, he's gone to prison. And both factions want him in prison as well. Is there anything else to add? I guess that's it. There's nothing else to say. Now, choose a verdict to see its influence on the faction. So if I choose prison, the jury votes in favour of incarcerating the defendant. They find the punishment sufficient. If I put him in prison, reputation with the common folk goes up, and with revolutionaries. If I acquit him, it goes down. So he's going to go to prison. I find the defendant guilty and sentence him to prison. I wish I had a gavel. I sentence citizen Jean Renaud to prison. Lead the condemned out. Huzzah! Long live pure wine. So we got all 4 questions, and we influenced the jury. So moving on, after a trial, click on to move to the next part. The common folk +5, revolutionaries +3. I imagine that's everything. Yeah, it looks like it. Jacques Louis David, or David actually. May I remind you that you promised to join me? I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers, though it does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should also know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Bringing a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That is not a strong argument. My name is Jacques Louis David. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You're a sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. Oh, I think we should go home, to be honest. The way things are with our family. Not tonight, Jacques. We're going to clean up our act. Be a good judge as best we can. Oh, potatoes in the shape of a heart. Our wife is happy, at least. Late evening. The judge's house. What? She says nothing. That's kind of a nice house, bit cracked a little. Do you not want to berate me like you always do? I'm glad you're home. Are you aware that Frederic sometimes imagines you as a deep-sea sailor? He dreams that you visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. But he would rather have you by his side on land. We all want that. I don't want to watch the storm blow your lifeboat over and away and bury it beneath the waves. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer. Dark clouds already hang on the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once and the waves will take you to a place you'll wish you'd never set foot on. A place without us. That's cool. I didn't realize I would animate the characters. Your family loves you, but we won't find you in the darkness that has already begun to reach you. Relations with the family. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of the day. Opening night at the theatre, political debate, playtime with the children, or evening with grandfather. And various actions will have an effect on them. Each character's attitude can provide you with or deprive you of certain bonuses, relationship, reputation, or relations with factions. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. You should choose an act to see its description. So I could go to the opening night at the theatre, which is up with my second eldest, Bernard, and our wife. There is a new play opening tonight on the stage of Comédie Française. It is a good chance to take a breather from reality. So we can do that. We can go to political debate, which he just likes. It is time for the grown men to talk about the revolution's achievements. Should be an interesting exchange. Grandfather wouldn't like that. Aldrich Fidel. Playtime with children. Our sons would like that, but our wife wouldn't. Spend your evening and your energy on carefree playtime with your sons. Your wife's needs can wait. Or evening with the grandfather. Sit down with your father and listen to stories of days bygone. So I'm not going to do that yet. I'm either going to play with the children or do an opening night at the theatre. I think I'll do it with the children. I think they need to see me more at the minute than my wife does. And our youngest son is special. So we're going to playtime with the children. Act 1, Liberté, Day 2. I wonder if I accidentally hit it multiple times and it went up and up and up, or it was just slow to tell me that I've been chosen. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques Guillaume Simonot, mayor of Étampes. I did French for my leaving cert, funny enough. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolize the unity of our society and the hope that the most violent stage of our revolution is past us. Let us make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again. King Louis XVI. So I'm going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you want to see more of this, and would you have chosen differently with our decisions. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care and have a good day.